What is up, y'all? Profitz here. Wanted to go over a couple topics in this video, but first I want to go over kind of what happened to the trades that I sort of laid out in my video from last week with my weekly outlook. So we're mainly looking at GU, AU, and USD CAD for some potential trades, potential longs or buys on those pairs, and they just start off with GU here. So originally what I went over last week was this arrow and this buy trade that was drawn up here. I haven't even touched it. This is where it's been all week from the last video. If you watched my last video, you guys know that this is where I had the setup. So as we mentioned, there's been a huge downtrend for all the USD pairs. GU, AU, and EU have been in a major downtrend. They finally broke out of that downtrend, so we were looking for buys. Now, what ended up happening during the last video, price flew up here, and so I was looking for a retest of the 4-hour 50 moving average, plus there was a nice demand zone here right at structure to potentially bounce off of. That's what I was looking for. I even had some buy limits set. But what ended up happening was price created a demand zone on the 4-hour time frame here, a little bit higher up than I was wanting it. It came up, it came down. I was wanting it to break through that, and at the time the 50 moving average was still down here. So I was wanting it to come tap that and then fly up from there, and I would have been in that trade, and it would have, looks like it would have played out very well. Now, it ended up bouncing off this closer demand zone, the higher demand zone, not pulling back to the structure that I wanted it to, and it ended up pulling up from there, which is okay. It is okay to miss trades, you know, that happens. And the old me, right, the old me trading a year or two ago probably would have taken this trade on this 50 or on this demand zone up here, even though all my confluences weren't there. I would have taken the trade anyways, and it would have played out in this instance. But in other instances, I would have taken it and it wouldn't have played out, and then I would have been even more emotionally I would have been in a worse place emotionally, because I knew that I took that trade without following my trading plan. And that is kind of the main point that I want to make in this video, is that it is okay to miss trades. It is okay to let some trades play out, even if you think that there's a high probability that it's going to play out. If all of your confluences don't align, or if your strategy isn't in that trade 100%, and it's like only following half your strategy, which is like this one would have been for me, just stay out of it. There's always going to be more opportunities in the market. There's always going to be more trades to come. So I didn't even end up taking a trade last week. We can even look at AU. This is the trade I had drawn up from AU, and guess what? It came up to this tiny 4-hour demand zone, tapped in, and then flew. It didn't pull back to the zone I wanted it to. USD CAD, another huge one we were looking for. Came up, tapped the 4-hour 50, and then plummeted. Whoops. It tapped the 4-hour 50 and then plummeted. Now, when it was tapping the 4-hour 50, I was tempted to put a small entry in there just because I'm like, it could play out from here, even though my main strategy and my zone that I'm looking for is up here with structure. But I ended up holding off. It would have played out this time, but like I said, 5 times out of 10, maybe even more than that, that trade that doesn't align with your strategy, that doesn't align with all the confluences and structure that you're looking for, probably won't play out. And then you're going to take an unnecessary loss for absolutely no reason. Of course, these are bad examples of the unnecessary loss because they did actually play out. Even then, it doesn't look like they're going to fully play out. USD CAD didn't even break to new lows, and it already is going back up. So it still might hit this structure up here that I've been waiting for in order to take this trade, hopefully, potentially this coming week. But going over that is kind of the main thing that I wanted to emphasize this week was, yeah, I didn't take a trade this week, and I saw some of my potential plays play out from zones that I didn't want them to play out from. And I could have caught, a good 50, 60 pips on a few of those pairs, which would have been awesome. But one, these trades are much bigger than I'm looking for. Two, it didn't align with my strategy. 3, the risk to reward would not have been nearly as good on these other trades. And when you're trading kind of in a no man's zone here, where you're not really sure if it's going to play off there, but you might take a chance on it, that type of situation, if you end up taking that trade, you're not going to know where to place your stop loss. You're not going to know where to place your TP. So there's just no point in even getting in my opinion. This is all from my personal experience. Again, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not the best trader in the world or anything like that, but I'm coming up on my 5th year of trading, and these are just things I've learned over time. And, you know, some people, they can go day by day in and out of the market and kind of just go with the flow and use a lot of intuition in their trading, which I understand that part of it. Intuition is going to always be a huge part of your trading, no matter what strategy you use. It is a huge part of mine as well. But from my experience, when you're taking those trades that you're a little bit iffy on, but you're like, I just want to put something in just to see if it plays out. When those type of trades lose, and you're like, why did I even take that trade? Why did I get in just to see if it played out, right? Even though it didn't follow your strategy. I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm trying to help you guys understand that this is a huge, important thing that I think holds a lot of traders back. If you can minimize your losses and only be patient and hold out for those ones that 100% stick to your strategy, and those are going to be your high probability trades, then you're going to be a lot better off. Trust me, you're going to have you're going to be a lot less stressed while trading. You're going to be a lot less confused because you're not going to think, I should have taken that, I should have taken that, why'd I hop in here, going back and forth on strategies. Stick to something, find something that you like, find something that works for you. For me right now, with my current job that I have, the swing trading on the 1 hour, 4 hour time frame, looking at the daily as well for Confluence, that is what's working for me in my time that I have to look at the charts right now. So that is what I'm going to stick to. I'm not going to start hopping in trades just because I think it might play out. So that's my huge thing that I wanted to kind of hit home today. Again, to kind of go over things that I'm looking at this coming week. This huge structure that was broken here on USD CAD still hasn't came to retest. It came up, it tested this 4 hour 50, it didn't even hit the lowest wick here on the 4 hour. So I'm not calling that the full retest. I think that we still have a chance to bounce here all the way up to that zone that we're really looking for, and then have the big move down as I've indicated with this arrow. This is what I'm looking for. This is going to be a big trade, a very beautiful trade if it does end up hitting this zone. It might not, and that'll be okay. GU, which was the first pair that we went over today, the first one that I went over last week as well, I believe. Again, we were looking for the break, retest of this zone, and then to go up. Now we've got ourselves in a situation where there's another zone up here that we could be looking for to, if it doesn't come to this zone for buys, it could come up to this zone for sells, which is why I have an alert set up here. There's another nice zone set up with structure here for sells. I don't remember what it looks like on the daily time frame. So this will be around the daily 200 as well. And that daily 200 plays out a lot. If you look back, if you're a swing trader, you know. If you're a scalper, you probably you might not know that, or might not understand that quite. You might not quite understand it, but the daily 200 is a massive level of confluence that a lot of trades play off of. Or at least play off of enough to give you a chance to put your trade at break even, so then it's risk free. Not saying that it's free trades or anything like that, but when that lines up with structure as well, plus if on the lower time frame, if there's a 4 hour or a 1 hour shark fin on top of that, which is a huge part of my trading, then that trade it plays out 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10. That you'll have a very good win rate if that occurs. Now, so these are kind of what I'm looking for, and it's okay to have a buy zone and a sell zone. That's another thing I can bring up. Especially when you're swing trading. It's going to be harder to do this on a scalping level because there's so many different moves that happen on the lower time frames that you can look at trading that way, but you might end up confusing yourself. But when you're sitting back and relaxing on the higher time frames and waiting for larger areas of confluence or AOIs, areas of interest, whatever you want to call it, Sitting back, waiting for your zones to be hit, and then taking a buy, taking a sell, it's much easier to manage when you're just waiting for it. Because some of this could take a week, 2 weeks to play out, to even get to the zones that I want them to get to, and that's okay. But that's why you have alerts set up. I know it got a little bit all over the place in this video, but wanted to really drive home the points of it's okay to miss trades. It's okay to let trades go, even though you have a high inkling in your mind that that's going to play out. If it doesn't stick to your strategy, if it doesn't align with your strategy, just stay out of it. Trust me, because when you lose taking those iffy trades, your emotions are going to be screwed. Like, you're going to end up screwing yourself more than you think. So that is the topics that I wanted to go over this week. And then again, a couple of little things that I'm actually looking for this coming week. USD CAD probably being the main one. So that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for checking this out, and thank you guys for the support on the last video. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you guys have any specific things you guys would want me to go over in future videos. Let me know if this is making sense to any of you guys, if you're getting any value out of it. Would appreciate the feedback. So hope you guys have a good week. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, weekend. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.